It seems to be an issue on which most have an opinion: politicians' pay. This week, Premier Lara Giddings offered public servants an olive branch in return for restricting public sector wage rises to 2% in last week's state budget. She tabled legislation to do the same for politicians. But less than 2 decades ago, the consequences of politicians interfering in their own wages was considered instrumental in the downfall of a government.
That's $800 a week rise for the Premier. Most Tasmanians would be happy to earn $800 a week, let alone get a rise of that amount.
They ought to be strung up.
It stinks.
They don't deserve it.
I think it's a disgrace.
It was 1993 and the Premier of Tasmania was the Liberals' Ray Groom. The economy was in dire straits.
What upsets many is that this comes on the heels of protests against a government which has shed some 4,000 public sector jobs due to cost cutting.
That was 18 years ago. In 2011,
we have tried to limit the impact on public sector staff, but we cannot continue to maintain a public service that is unsustainable.
Last week, when the budget was delivered, unions were already rallying in protest.
It's a joke to think it's not going to be frontline services. She's got $102 million from health in the first year. That is frontline services.
In a bid to plug a $113 million black hole, Lara Giddings has imposed tough new savings measures. There are cuts across every government department and public servants are set to bear the brunt, with 1,700 jobs to go and a limit of 2% on wage rises. Politicians were to be immune from the cuts. Not only that, next month they were set to receive a pay increase. Last week, Lara Giddings was happy to keep it that way.
One of the strongest principles I think that we need to abide by is keeping out of setting our own salaries, Mr. Speaker.
But is it now Groundhog Day, with Tasmanian parliamentarians set to receive an increase of 4.2%